Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social session. Yesterday, we tried to understand about the climate in Africa, and today we will learn about how the people in Africa looks like and what are their occupations and what are their socio-economic activities. Let us see in today's class under the people of Africa. So, under the people of Africa, they speak different. I already told you, different tribal people are present in Africa. So, they speak different languages, and their lifestyle and habits are also quietly different in different regions of Africa. Since ancient times, people have lived in small tribes, carrying out hunting, gathering the food, animal husbandry. Animal husbandry बोले तो rearing the animals. Okay, goats को, sheep को जो rearing होती है उसको animal husbandry बोलते. And agriculture also they have carried. So hunters have inhabited in the equatorial region. Already you know it, what is the equatorial region. Equator जिधर से पास होती उसके ऊपर और नीचे जो जगह है, it is called as equatorial region. In this equatorial region, most of the hunters have inhabited बोले तो they have settled down there. They got settled down there, and this region also has deserts, and equatorial region you find Sahara desert, isn't it, in the northern part, and in the southern part also there is another desert in Africa, children. What is the desert called as? Kalahari desert. Kalahari desert. सहारा डेजर्ट है और कलाहारी डेजर्ट, दोनों डेजर्ट जो है अफ्रीका में है. एक है सेंट्रल एंड नॉर्थ अफ्रीका और दूसरा जो है सदर्न अफ्रीका. एंड कमिंग टू द पैस्टोरलिस्ट, दैट मीन जो घास को लेके जाते हैं, गाय को और शीप्स को. ओके, व्हाट वी कॉल मेतक दिस कपोड़. We take it for the food, for feeding these animals when you take them. These people are inhabited in the high plateau regions. I was telling you about a grass which grows very tall. They are called as savannas. The grasslands of Africa are called as savannas. So in these savannas, grazing their animals on the extensive grasslands will take up. And agriculture has long been carried out on the river banks as well as on the margins of the forest, because water is required for the cultivation. Mostly agriculture got developed on the bank of the rivers. There are large rivers which flow across Africa, like Nile is there, one of the longest river in the world. Okay, Niger is there, and many other rivers are also there, where on its banks agriculture got developed. And there are several cities on the coastal region where trade from the distant countries also make it happen. So because it is completely covered with water on all its sides, so water trade makes it get it connected with the other countries. For a long time, people from other continents were largely ignorant about the interior of Africa. They know about the coastal region, but for a large time, until recently also, about the interior of the Africa, much of the people doesn't know. Europeans were familiar only with the northern coastal region, that is Mediterranean coast जो है उन लोगों को मालूम है. They know it only about the northern coast. And while the Indian and Arab news about the eastern coast of Africa, but large part, apart from these coastal areas, neither the Europeans nor the Indians nor the Arab traders had much knowledge about the interior parts of Africa. About 500 years, okay, 500 साल पीछे क्या हुआ, the Europeans बोले तो यूरोप से आए से लोग, they began to reach India by a sea route, that is Vasco da Gama. 1498 में he discovered sea route to India. वो आते वक्त क्या करे, they have traveled across the Atlantic Ocean and they reached to the South Africa, southern side of Africa, and they used to stop over on the islands of Saint Madeira and Azores. Okay, these are the two islands which are located to the southern side in the Atlantic Ocean, and they were apprehensive about going south of these islands. They were very afraid to go to the south of these islands, and they thought it would be so hot further south, and that the sea would be boiling, they thought. Then in 1498, a Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama went around the southern tip of Africa and he reached India. So later they came to know that how the people and how the lifestyle of these Africans in the southern side, that there is a landmass which is located on the southern side. So the world came to know very recently about the Africa. Until then it is called as a dark continent also, because even these thick forests will not allow for the penetration of the sunlight, इसीलिए अफ्रीका को डार्क कॉन्टिनेंट भी बोलते थे. And while studying the Europe, you must have noticed it's a broken coastline. Okay, how zigzag it was, you know it very well. The coastal region of Europe. Magar, whereas here, and we also learnt in Europe about the gulfs and bays. Okay, kabhi andar aa jana pani, kabhi land stretched into the mouth of sea. These gulfs and bays also we have seen. So let us recall them. Initially, the Europeans tried to go inland, and many African tribes came in direct conflict with them. A tribe people जो है, they have come into direct conflict with them. Europeans indulged in unfair trade. Unfair trade बोले तो it was not a fair trade. उन लोगों को कम दे देना. Okay, नहीं तो गोलियों से they started scaring them with modern weapons and bringing them, tried to enslave them. Enslave means उसको slaves बना लिए. And these slaves were sold in the American market and in the European market. And they wanted to establish their rule also over Africa. जैसे इंडिया को उन लोगों के कब्जे में कर लिए, these Europeans also wanted to control Africa. And they wanted to exploit its resources. Hence, the African people had resisted the efforts of the foreigners to establish their themselves in their land. But the slave trade continued for a longer period. How this slave trade made these Africans enslaved to the Europeans, we will see in the next class, children. Thank you.